Hello, everyone. Good to see ya. Mods in the house. I see Minnie and Jen. Thank you for being here. Let me see who else. Hi, Frank. Hello. Panda Bear's mom, Margaret, Nicey Marie. Good to see you all. We are here today, and if I have not greeted you personally, thank you for being here. We are going to go ahead and get started talking about Sebastian Rogers. Give me a 1 in the chat if you can hear me, please. Give me a 1 if you can hear me, everyone. And if you have come in, only 65% of you have hit. Thank you, Jen. Thank you, Marie. Appreciate you all. Hey, Bridget. Thank you so much, Teresa and Susie. We are going to go ahead and get started today. Only 65% of you have hit the thumbs up. And if you would be willing to hit that thumbs up, we need to get this information out there because Sebastian Rogers is being treated in Sumner County and Hendersonville in a way we just cannot stand for. This is for entertainment purposes only. We are using emails and facts that are out there, and I am going to give my own spin, my own opinion, my own theory on it because, quite frankly, I'm angry. I'm very upset. Okay, Sebastian deserves better. We have a father standing in front of a sheriff's station with a microphone trying to get attention, and we have a mother going to lunch with county employees telling them don't let them pass out flyers. This is getting to a point, you all, where it is ludicrous. Okay, so we are going to just go ahead and get to it. Sebastian's been missing a year and a half and 3 days since he was reported missing, but truly a year and a half and 4 days since anyone in public truly saw him. The rest is based on his mother's word. The very mother who doesn't want flyers passed out. So I'm going with February 25th, in my opinion. I would love for you to go with whichever you want to. I'd like you to always form your own opinion. So let me tell you what is going on. Sebastian, who's been missing over a year and a half, Sumner County Sheriff's Office has not been responding to leads. Sebastian's father, Seth Rogers, went all the way to Bristol, Virginia on a lead, drove there himself, and on that whole road trip during all of that time, Sumner County never followed up on the lead, never reached out. That is not the first time that happened. When we were dealing with ransoms and threats to Sebastian's life. Hey, Raymond, good to see ya. Ransoms and threats to Sebastian's life, we could not get Sumner County, the lead detective or the sheriff, to join us in what was going on, in our fears, in our pacing, in our worries, in our tears, and none of the above. And quite frankly, to get them to read, open, respond to emails regarding Sebastian is like pulling teeth. Now we have a father standing outside with a microphone trying to get their attention while they collect their public servant paycheck. Because let me remind you, they are nothing more than public servants. When they take an oath and they do not serve and protect like they are supposed to and conduct themselves, they become nothing more than a servant that needs to be removed. Not an honorable servant, a disgraced servant. And that's what's going on in Sumner County, in my opinion. We are going to talk today about why Sebastian, who banned Sebastian from the local event, the Pigfest, where so many people are going to be coming and so much awareness could be raised. We have a mother at the 1 year mark telling Dateline she just doesn't understand why so many people don't know yet about Sebastian. Well, here's a little advice, Mama Bear. How about you start doing some things and stop blocking some things, in my opinion? For instance, if you were really appalled that people didn't know about Sebastian, you'd want flyers at that event. You'd do everything like Fruitland, Idaho does for Michael Vaughn. No matter what's going on, there's a Michael Vaughn booth. No matter when it's his birthday, there's a community event. They spotlight Michael. But we have a mother who at the year mark pretended she was upset and appalled that so many people didn't know about Sebastian. Well, let me say this. If you don't get your little fanny out there and look for your own kid, and you don't hang your own flyers, and you don't do media requests, and you do things like this and eat ice cream and go to Disney World, you have nothing to complain about. The world is doing your work, Missy. I have no tolerance for a mother who has no time for her child, but is running around with the man who child aid her child. How could you even stand next to someone with 5 reports of A against your child who is missing? So today you're going to get angry, Jay, snarky Jay, tired of this SHIT Jay. And yes, she is a piece of SHIT of a mother in the end. I agree it. Thank you for that comment, Barbie. I will tell you before I get started, at the end of this, I am going to show you a photo of an individual who was staring at Sebastian and KP during the Texas Roadhouse. I am doing that for identification verification. I won't keep putting his picture up, but I do want to put it up in case we can identify who this person is who is staring at Sebastian with his mouth covered. And the reason I bring up to you his mouth covered is because it seems some people may have been wearing ear sets and others may have been covering mouths to talk when I watch, okay? Could it be, am I 100% correct? No. But here's what we have going for us. We care enough to research and look, right? We care enough to do it, and it's not even our child, okay? That's called humanity. So let's get started. Actually, you know what? Do you want me to put a 1 if you want me to start with that photo? Put a 2 if you want me to end with it. Oh yeah, I'm hot. But here's the beauty of all of it, everyone. So a 1 if you want me to start with the photo, a 2 if you want me to end with it. Here's the beauty of what they're doing, even though it's so disgusting and gross. Okay, I'll start with it. Even though it's so disgusting and gross, is the fact that it's all being documented. All of this is being documented. So when it does go to trial, oh, and it's going to. When it does go to trial for justice for Sebastian, people are going to have to explain because we have it documented, don't we? We have it documented. Wait a minute. What? Zipper just left a comment for those in the bushes. Hello to you. Sumner County is not claiming Sebastian as a victim of kidnapping. They have 9 kidnapped, 9 cleared, they say. Zipper, will you please share with us where they say that? Would you please let us know where that is said? Okay, so I'm going to begin with the photo, and I'm going to show you that there is indeed, now remember, we have a county, a sheriff's office that did not think anything of the fact of anything at Texas Roadhouse. Nothing there caught their eyes, if they even looked at it before dog and at night came in, okay? They didn't, nothing about TBI criminal stats. Thank you so much. I'm going to be looking at that. They didn't even think there was anything going on fishy at Texas Roadhouse, such police work. Green hoodie didn't look fishy to them. They say this man staring must not have caught their attention. But you know what's so interesting? I call POS. You know what I'm saying instead of BS. Okay, you know why I say that? Because if they didn't think anything was on Texas Roadhouse footage worthy, they would have showed Seth Rogers all of it. But they chose a clip to show Seth. You know why a clip was shown? So because there were things, in my opinion, they were hiding. Things they didn't think would get out because they didn't realize a celebrity and an intelligence agency were going to come in and help the father. They thought they could continue to treat the father like a dumb bunny, and that's how they treat him. Thank you, Zipper. Okay, so if you were an investigator and a child went missing, would you check into this even if it was nothing? There you go. Talk to you about it for a second. This could be a person just happening to be standing at the half wall behind them, staring at them minutes before a child goes missing. Or this could be someone intentionally staring at a child before he goes missing. This could be an individual with his mouth covered talking into someone's earpiece. I know it sounds far-fetched, but the way that entire county is acting, it's going to be far-fetched. It really is. We're not going to get to, oh my goodness, here it was, there's one person involved. I don't think so. Yes, prayer warrior. Oh, it's so good to see you. We're not going to get to, in my opinion, there's one person involved. We're going to get to, we may see perp. I want to see perp walks. We probably won't because of the protection going on. But there is going to be more people than one. Now, the reason I bring this picture to you is, first of all, I want you to realize that someone is staring at a child before he leaves. This man is looking right at him. Does he look like he's looking friendly at him in a smile or a stare? What's he doing? We haven't gotten to it yet, Lori. I started with this photo for everyone. Gypsy, hun, I know you were trying to get a hold of me, and bless you, and I'm sorry. I've been so busy. I was so busy. I'm back at it, but I want to tell you, I truly appreciate you, Gypsy, for the updates you gave me when I couldn't be around. Thank you, Nicey. Okay. So if any of you recognize this person, and one thing I do want to tell you is it is not Chris Proudfoot. Okay. When I first saw it, that's who I thought it was. Okay. It is not Chris Proudfoot. I do want to say that out of fairness because I don't want everyone running around saying Chris was staring at Sebastian while he was eating at the Texas Roadhouse. What I do want to tell you is this. Thank you, Nicey. What I do want to tell you is this. Do you remember when KP kept looking behind her? Was this whom she was looking for? He does have a man ponytail. Yes, he does. Great eyes, IML. Okay. Raymond gifting the Buzz memberships, which tomorrow is our reunion, and we are having it. It does look like him, doesn't it, Beverly? When I first saw it, I thought it was Chris. Okay. It is not Chris. Okay. Thank you, Raymond. If you receive one of Raymond's gifts, please thank him and join us tomorrow for our family reunions. Danny, as soon as I saw it, I thought it looked like him. And the person who was working with me said, no, that's not him. So sometimes it's really good to have extra eyes with you. Thank you, Raymond, for growing the Buzz family. You are amazing. You are amazing. And Taurus the Good Witch says thank you. So this is what I wanted to show you. If you recall, Jen Coffindaffer months and months and months ago said, I find it very suspicious and odd. There's people staring at Sebastian while he eats. There it is. Okay, there it is. Hi, Pebbles. Okay. So we need to get this person identified. It could just be someone in the restaurant watching him because he looks ravenous. He's probably wondering, could be just wondering, why is this, when was the last time this child ate? Okay, we don't know. But KP keeps looking behind her. And that is where this guy is. And he's not at a booth. He's standing at a half wall behind them. I find that odd. Welcome, Lori. Okay, so we'll come back to that at the end. For those of you who wanted to see it, there is indeed someone staring at Sebastian while he eats. Okay, now the information I'm going to bring to you is about an event called the Pigfest, and it is in Hendersonville, Tennessee. It is October, I think, 24th and 5th, 23rd through the 25th. Tickets are $17.95 for general admission if you want to go hear the Oak Ridge Boys. And then there's also a steak dinner. I believe that's $70 once you click on the tickets. And there's VIP tickets for over 100, probably where you could get into all events. It is very odd. It is in 2 months. So if you are wanting to go, I say go. You know why I think it would be a really good event to go to? Because you're going to have the DIRTYFOOTS there and the DIRTYSOX there, and you can watch them and they won't even know you're watching them. And the reason I say that is I would love to get a look at them and how they behave. Okay. So yes, that was the shirt Stepdad had on, was a Pigfest shirt at their year mark interviews. Yes. So here's what happened. This is not credit to me. I'm going to give credit who is due. This is credit to Lolly and her channel. By the way, Lolly is going to be coming on our channel next week. We're trying to figure out a day, okay? I had chosen Monday, but forgot it was the holiday. So Lolly, if you do not know her channel, it's Lolly Beautifully Broken. And we are going to team up and talk Sebastian this week. Okay. Yes, wear a Sebastian t-shirt. Do you know what, you all? I lost my Sebastian t-shirt on the move. I think I left it in the hotel. This is great. And I'm sorry if you are in the bushes. I'm going to get right to the show in a second. If we wear a Sebastian shirt, will they make us take it off? It's so sad, isn't it? So Sebastian flyers have been banned from this local event. This is huge because it's a huge event bringing awareness to Hendersonville. And guess where proceeds are going to? Children. But yet not Sebastian. You can bring awareness to things in Hendersonville for children, but certainly don't do that about Sebastian. If you want to talk about Sebastian in Hendersonville and in Sumner County, you need to get a microphone and stand outside the public servant's office that you pay for. Yeah, I'm not happy, but he will be going down because it's all documented now. Okay, so we are speaking about Mr. Gilly. I believe his name's Andy, the director of the Parks and Recreation for Hendersonville, Tennessee. And this is where it all began. Lolly had a sub call about setting up a table, a small table, and passing out flyers because they do have vendors and booths there. Let's start there. She wanted to pass out flyers of Sebastian. Mr. Gilly told her that he was going out to lunch with, let me see. Okay, yeah. Mr. Gilly told her, get this, they ask if they can get a booth and pass out flyers. And here's his response. Tell me if there's no bias or conflict of relationships here. Mr. Gilly told her that he was going to lunch with the Proudfoots and he would have to have their permission along with the DIRTYSOX. I'm going to stop right there and I'm going to rant. First of all, okay, I will. I'll go up and read Barbie's comment. First of all, DIRTYSOX have nothing to do with Sebastian or giving any permission regarding Sebastian for absolutely anything. Let's just make that clear. They've done nothing to search for him. And yet that is who they want to ask. Why didn't they say, I need to ask the mother and the father? Not the stepfather, the step-grandparents who refused to take him to Disney with the other grandchildren because of how he might act. Okay? First of all, right there is a documented conflict of interest and relationships. It proves the biological father was not contacted to have a say in this. It proves step family who has no say in it, but power in the pockets and a stepfather who has 5 CPS reports against him, but no arrests by the sheriff. And that's who they asked. So you can imagine what the answer was. Because a mother who cried, oh, not everyone knows about Sebastian, that he's missing. Well, how would they? You're in Disney riding roller coasters and eating ice cream. You're blocking his flyers from being put out at a huge event instead of being the kind of parent who would beg, hey guys, since we're raising money for Mary's magical playground, that Sebastian, it's his favorite, can we do something for Sebastian? Oh no, please don't pass out his flyers. Yeah, you got Angry Jay today. Oh, sorry, I was going to say that. Okay, so then he said he would need permission along with the DIRTYSOX, not just the mom and the stepdad with the CPS reports, but also the DIRTYSOX. Now, why would a director of recreation and parks for Hendersonville think in his head he needs permission from step grandparents who aren't even involved really in the search? You know why? Because there's a relationship there. It's showing us who's controlling the actions. It is showing us who controls the actions in Hendersonville. You have a park and rec director afraid to even make a decision without the DIRTYSOX permission. Then he says, then it would be up to Sheriff Craddock. Really? So why would you think a sheriff wouldn't want flyers out about your highest profile case you've ever had in your county that you're ignoring? Why would anyone think that sheriff wouldn't want a flyer out? That they would need permission? Why would anyone think he would say no? Interesting. So Craddock replies in an email saying he has nothing to do with the Pigfest. So Craddock doesn't need to give permission. So it's the Proudfoots who he's going out to lunch with, and then he needs to get DIRTYSOX permission. Okay? Guess what happens? He goes out to lunch and he comes back with a no. Okay? So stop right there. Barbie Hedberg says, I can't wait till piece of SKP gets arrested for false reporting and sending all this money on a lie. Yes, spending all the money on a lie. And that is one thing we were going to talk about. In most towns, in most cities, in most jurisdictions, you have a strong sheriff, one who sits up tall, doesn't slouch, one whose eyes don't look scared, but they look brave. These are all my opinions. And when someone would mistreat the system, the judicial system and the investigative system with lies, changing stories, false reporting, and the amount of money that was spent on that search, there would have been an arrest, along with the CPS, child abuse. There would have been an arrest. But we don't have a strong strength there. And if you're a local, I hope you're seeing you don't have a strength there. Because it's one thing to complain about him. It's another thing to allow him to get reelected again, which is exactly what's going to happen if you don't put someone in his place. It's great to have a blank line to write someone else in and not cast your vote for him, but that doesn't mean he doesn't get elected. You need to run someone else. This is a travesty. But I'm going to place a bet, and I'm going to say it. When this is all said and done, and we actually are getting justice for Sebastian, I don't know when that will be, but we're not giving up. My bet, my prediction is a sheriff will resign or be removed or be reprimanded in front of the nation that's had to watch the travesty against a father and a child. That is my prediction. Okay. Never did he mention asking Seth. I looked on their site and the Proudfoots nor DIRTYSOX or any of their businesses are sponsors of the event now. And after that call, all vendor spaces are closed. Why would all vendor spaces be closed? Because they don't want them to set up a table for Sebastian, allegedly. It's disgusting. So after having lunch with the PFOOTS, just like the same people who say you're not allowed to search any of my family's properties or mine for our missing child that we lost, you now cannot pass out flyers at one of the biggest events that would raise the most awareness in Hendersonville. Okay. Here it is from Andy Gilly. At this time, we are not off. This is the after lunch response. At this time, we are not authorizing any outside vendors or distribution of any materials in the Pigfest event other than those who are sponsors of the event. Should you wish to set up on the school property near the event, you would need to contact the school. Thank you. Andy Gilly, Director of Parks and Rec. Was there compassion? Is there compassion that someone's missing a child and we need to get the word out and awareness out? Oh, no. What they did is they went to the very people who lost the child, who vanished the child, who had something to do, who were responsible for the child, and asked them instead of the father who's out there trying to find the child. So I want everyone to look at a mother's no to awareness for her missing child. This is the mother. Her name is Katie Proudfoot. We call her KP. She has chosen not to have flyers at a huge event in Hendersonville where people come from all around, but yet she says no one knows about Sebastian. Well, no one knows because you don't do a thing. What do? Take a look at that face. Thank you so much, Serenity. I don't know how they can stop you. It is not illegal to pass out flyers. Well, they're telling they can stand further away. They can go to the school, but with that big crowd, they don't want everyone to know about Sebastian, apparently. Okay, I did read Barbie's. I thought I read it. Let me go back and read Barbie's message. I thought I just read it. Oh, Barbie. Okay. Hold on if you are in the bushes. Someone is making a comment and I will read it out loud. Okay, I'm going up. I'm sorry if you are waiting. I'm looking for something. Okay, hold on. Okay. Kathy and KP were together right after the Texas Roadhouse is what Barbie is saying. Okay. Barbie, I have a question for you on a tip I've received, but I can't say it out loud. I have sent emails to the sheriff. I sent text messages and PI and of proof of what I'm saying and not one word back. Barbie, did you send me anything on that? Because if you did, I have reported it and I have a question about it. Don't attack me. I'm just saying what I've heard from a very honest person. Can I ask you a question? Was that very honest person in the car with them? I sent Seth an email. I hope he replies. Please email me, Barbie. Yes, please email me, Barbie. We're not attacking you in any way. We're just trying to talk it through, okay? This community is really good. You can even disagree with this community and they won't attack you. I just got this info yesterday and I didn't want to say anything till I know and see proof. Okay. I have received a tip somewhat along those lines that I've reported, but let's talk so we can see if indeed they match up. You are saying it loud and emailing everyone I can. Thank you, Barbie. Because we all have to be Sebastian's mother now. We all have to be Sebastian's mothers. Whether you're a male or a female, we have to be Sebastian's mother because this mother does not want his flyers passed out. How in the world are those two not arrested? Relationships. That's my opinion, and they just showed it again. One went to lunch And instead of asking a father who's searching for his child, they ask the mother who isn't. It's conflict of interest. Barbie, thank you for sharing that with us. If you could email me at Crime Time Buzz, I want to talk to you about it because I'm not allowed to discuss what I received out loud. So, okay, we're going to keep going and I will come back to the chat after our show. Okay. Hi, Bliss. Good to see you. I will come back to the chat after the show. Okay. Because you have amazing things. So here is a mother. Take a look at her. When you're at the Pigfest, look for her. She'll be the one having a great time. You won't see Seth Rogers there. He'll be the one searching and passing out flyers somewhere else. This is a mother who says no to awareness. This is a father who loves his son so much. Oh, come on. Hold on. Let me get the video up. This is a father who loves his son so much that he can't stop. There was one specific one I wanted. Okay. And if I start getting a bunch of ads, I'm going to go ballistic. Okay, good. So we're going to let those ads run for a second. I don't know why it always tells me my browser let go of my audio too. Yes, I agree with you. People are saying they don't want money. They just want Seth to have justice and Sebastian to be home. I understand and I totally get it. And we're going to listen to the father right now as soon as this comes out because we just looked at the mother who doesn't want to search. No, we're going back. Oh, she's part of our community. Did you guys say that was muted? It was playing on my end. See, I did get something saying audio went out. Can you hear me? Hold on. Can you hear me though? You can hear me? Okay, so it's just, okay, so let's see why that's not. I'll add myself back. Okay, once I start this, please give me a 1 if you hear the video. I apologize, you all. Do you hear it? Okay. You guys cannot hear that video? That's really weird. You hear me, but not the video. Okay, let me go ahead and take myself. We're going to add to the stage and we're going to play it this way. As soon as I start it, 1s if you hear it, 2s if you don't, please. I don't get it. Okay, that's really weird. You hear me, but not the video. Let me remove it. Okay. I'm sorry, you all. Technical difficulties for a second. We're going to stop the screen. I'm going to get a different one in here. I'll put the closed captions on just in case. Okay, same thing. 1 or a 2 right away. I don't have any other windows open. Oh, I do. I do. Oh, okay. Let me try now. Thank you all for your patience. Technology is something else, isn't it? Okay, now I closed it out. Hold on. Hold on. I do want you to hear his words and see him standing there because it's just heartbreaking to me. Now it's going to make us go through ads again. I knew it. Can you hear the ads? Can you hear the ads now? Yeah, Barbie, message me. You're trying. Can you hear it? No? Huh. I don't know why I'm having technical difficulty. I really don't. Okay. Well, we'll move on. That is Seth. He's standing out front of the He is standing out front of the Sumner County Sheriff's Office. We'll try one last time. No, the page isn't found. Weird. Okay. And he is begging for help. And this is the person indeed. Oh my goodness. Now it's not letting me do anything, huh? Sorry, you all. This is the person that is the director that went out to lunch with KP and CP and came back and said, no, you can't pass it out. And then also the man who said he would have to ask the stinky socks. You can hear me though, right, friends? Can you hear me? Hold on. Okay, you hear me. I'm not going to play the video right now. I don't know why my sound's being odd. So But that is the man. For some reason, he felt the DIRTYSOX should have a say as soon as he was contacted, which right there, what does that tell you? If someone's contacted to pass out flyers for a child and the director's first thought is, I better ask the step parents, not the father, and the step grandparents, he has a relationship in which they are in control, in my opinion. They are the bosses. Bliss, I have it on replay, my comments. I do have my comments on replay. They are not sponsors of the event, and we're about to get to that. Yes, I'll show you who's sponsoring this event. Let me get back here. Okay, this is the annual Pigfest event. Make sure you're seeing this with me. Okay, it is the 23rd through the 25th. It's in Hendersonville, by the way, at Veterans Park, 140 Scotch Street. It's going to be 3 days. More great causes, all in Hendersonville. But Sebastian Rogers is not a cause. And by the way, those of you saying TBI has 9 kidnappings and 9 solved on their page, you're right. What are they saying? Sebastian's a runaway? How could they do that when they have an Amber Alert out? TBI is the very organization that determines if someone has been kidnapped and should run the Amber Alert. So now you're telling me they ran an Amber Alert and aren't counting this child as kidnapped? So that's our next letter. How do you get an Amber Alert for a non-kidnapped child? And if he was kidnapped, why are you not including him in your statistics? I will be writing that letter down too. Yes, true crime was sweet, Melissa. I think the Pigfest is a perfect place for him, in my opinion. Okay. So Thursday, you have steak dinner, silent auction, and a parking pallet where they can paint. Okay, and trivia. It's a $65 night, $71 when you pay with taxes. Thursday, you have the Last Outlaw and All-Star Super Slam, and I believe the Oak Ridge Boys are going to be there. Oh no, that's on Friday. Then on Friday, you have the kickoff concert with the Oak Ridge Boys, and Saturday's a barbecue competition, college football, kids zone. They like kids, but they certainly don't want to raise awareness for ones that are missing. Pig races, and more. Okay, so you have the Holiday Fest, you have Hendersonville Hometown Jam, Parks and Rec, the Parking Pallet, Sumner County. Here's the event. Okay. There will be food trucks, local vendors, live music, pig races, kids zone fun, and even the Parking Pallet community painting project, because the community loves to come together for things like that, except for Sebastian Rogers. And I'm just going to keep saying it. So they have the Oak Ridge Boys coming. Now imagine how many people will come to see the Oak Ridge Boys. And KP didn't want all of those people to know her son is missing. They're doing a super slam, whatever that is, a singles match. It must be wrestling or something. Oh yeah, NWA. So they have a whole big event going. And I'm going to read to you. They'll have more dynamic performers called Exile, Eric Blankenship. You have this year's charity benefits are Live Love Nashville and Christmas for Kids. Mary's Magical Place, which is Sebastian's favorite place, and Grace Place. Look at this. Christmas for Kids, but we can't support a child missing and raise awareness, or for Pete's sake, anything for him. But yet they're saying great causes, but Sebastian Rogers isn't one of their great causes. And that mother, who obviously is involved in this somehow because she's out eating with the head of the community Parks and Rec, the director, she did not want and don't ask to have those flyers passed out. They have XS Group, Exterior Solutions Group sponsoring, Pool Leak Detection and Repair, Candy Potter, One Stop Realty, Main Stop Pub, Tailgate Nashville, and Pub Peril, partnering with them to bring a spectacular night where the nonprofit organizations Live Love Nashville, Grace Place, Christmas for Kids, and Mary's Magical Place will all receive benefits from this, but yet do not pass out a flyer for a missing child. As you notice, no sponsors from DIRTYSOX or DIRTYFOOTS in there, so they should have zero say. The parking pallet is from ServPro of Sumner County. So why did the director, this is important, why did the director feel, even though they were not sponsors, even though they had nothing to do with this, why did the director immediately think he should talk to the DIRTYSOX and the Dirty Feet instead of Seth Rogers? What made him think that he had to ask permission other than DIRTYSOX power? DIRTYSOX power. And that's what it is. And I don't want to go to that yet. There was something else I wanted to show you before we get going here. DIRTYSOX power. Oh, here's some more. This is the other event. So this is the Oak Ridge. Oh boy, I'm glad I'm checking because it's not sharing along with me. So no. Okay. This is the Oak Ridge Boys event. It's Hendersonville Hometown Jam presents Oak Ridge Boys Exile and Eric Blankenship. October 24th at Veterans Park at 5 p.m. It is the big Pigfest kickoff concert. It is $17.85, and it benefits the Kids for Christmas, Mary's Magical Place, Grace Place, and Live Love Nashville. But certainly, please do not ask to pass out flyers because Katie Proudfoot and the Bauer Sox said no. Okay, there will be live pig races. There will be barbecue. There will be the parking pallet painting, a kid zone, college football, food trucks, vendors, all of which will be going on. And the Oak Ridge Boys. Now imagine all the people coming. Eric Blankenship. Imagine all the people coming. But they don't want that awareness. Hendersonville said, we have to ask the DIRTYSOX and the Dirty Feet. And they did, and they got a big, fat no. Okay? Now, as we're talking about all this, why don't we go ahead and transition over to our updates from X, and then I'm going to talk to you about the new district attorney for Hendersonville. I read his applications last night. So let's go to the at night. You're probably not following with me. I didn't think so. I'm glad I'm checking. Let's go to at night's updates. There is something from yesterday that I very much want you to see. It is, okay, this is the first one I want to read to you. We know that there has been a facial recognition hit, facial surveillance alert on Sebastian Rogers. It is overseas, we've heard, in another country, we have heard, and that he was being detained, and you all were right. Oh, I'm sorry, Dondi Eldridge. The Pigfest is at Veterans Park in Hendersonville, Tennessee, October 23rd through the 25th. Oh, thank you, Whispering Winds. Thank you. Yes, they can be out on public land handing out flyers. Absolutely. Okay, it is real quick before I go on to the updates. Thank you, Sharon, for your sweet donation. It is hard to be a realty sponsor with a missing child poof case in your town. It is about the loss of business. Missing kids are bad for town growth. It is hard to be a realty sponsor with a missing child poof case in your town. Loss of business. Missing kids are bad for town growth. Well, shame on them because missing kids are important. Rachel, I don't know what you're trying to ask, hon. Ask away. I'm not sure what you're trying to ask, Michelle. Just ask away, or whoever that was. Someone's saying they want to ask a question. Rachel, just ask it. Okay, that's fine. I'll come back in a second. The Pigfest is held in Hendersonville, Tennessee. It is held at the Veterans Park. Okay, so at Night's Intelligence, there was, now we looked yesterday a little bit about I'm looking at it, Rachel. I can't think about it. Right. I'm trying to see. Okay. Biometrics and facial identity is quite accurate, but it depends on the image captured. Were there a lot of other people around, the lighting, things like that, right? But it is very accurate. So it did a hit an alert on Sebastian's biometrics and facial identities. And when looked at, they believe looks very similar to Sebastian and could be Sebastian. Okay. So you were absolutely right, because those of you who said he was detained, yes, Sebastian was detained. However, this alert tells us that possibly At Night is going to need our help sooner than they thought once they find out information and verification, but quite possibly he has been released without anyone being able to verify his identification prior to. Okay, let me read this update to you. And this was yesterday. Is today the 29th? Yes, this was yesterday. Let me blow it up a little bit for those of you who like to see it. Due to the escalating complexity, and this is from At Night Creative Intelligence, and mounting international tensions in the region where At Night is actively searching for Sebastian Rogers, so you know it's out of our nation, we may be compelled to turn to the public sooner than anticipated, depending on confirmation regarding the detainee's status. And I'm worried, regardless if it's Sebastian or not, this child's in a terrible situation. There will be a be on the lookout. At Night is prepared to issue a BOLO alert, which is a be on the lookout alert. Listen to this, accompanied by the footage of a subject overseas who bears a strong resemblance to Sebastian. This release is intended to amplify awareness and accelerate verification. So if they have released him without the team being able to get there and do an identification, they are going to be putting out a BOLO alert and releasing the footage to the public. Okay, not for drama, not for, sensationalism, but to amplify awareness, verification, and people looking for him in that area, right? My goodness. It's just something else. Lisa, thank you for being a member for 2 months. Contact the Oak Ridge Boys. I put info in chat. Thank you. Thank you very much, you all. You've got great comments. Okay, let's keep reading this. Our deployment on the ground comprised of 2 men and 1 woman, and they remain positioned in an active conflict zone. So I ask you, where do we have conflict zones in our world right now? Gypsy, that's a brilliant idea. Where do we have conflict in our world right now? They're giving you a hint as to where he might be, where that sighting is. Gypsy said, Lisa said, contact the Oak Ridge boys. I've given you their information. Thank you. I will indeed. And Gypsy said, I'm sorry I could not comment earlier, but how about we contact each sponsor of the Pigfest and ask them to post Sebastian's flyer on the corner post of their tent or table? Amen. Good idea. I will do that next week. And if some of you want to help me, please reach out to me in email and say Pigfest, and we'll split up the vendors and reach out. Okay. Lisa B. always. Okay. So where do we have conflict in our world? Ukraine, Gaza, and Venezuela. Very good. Okay. So let's keep reading. So our deployment is 2 men and 1 woman in an active conflict zone. They are working in real time with both international authorities and militant intermediaries to determine whether the subject was prematurely released before conclusive ID could be secured. Despite limited numbers, our team continues to push forward in an environment where security, timing, and security are all under extraordinary strain. So whoever this child is, Sebastian or someone else, they are living amidst this conflict zone where safety and security is a strain, and that's terrifying. Okay. And then let's see what else they have put out here. If there's been anything else 19 hours ago, make sure it's changing with me since. Okay, good. Now it's working. Okay, good. Good to know. Good to know. Tonight, we come together as a nation to pray for Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers. This was, I'm sorry, I didn't tell you, this is At Night Creative Intelligence 19 hours ago. Tonight, we come together as a nation to pray for Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers, an all-American teenage boy who vanished from Hendersonville, Tennessee, 18 months ago. Sebastian, who has autism, was last seen departing the Texas Roadhouse. Look at him. He's so handsome. If it weren't for At Night, One World, and Dog, if it weren't for At Night, One World, and Dog, no one would be looking. Canada and Mexico also have some areas per Homeland Security. Thank you, Rachel. So Sebastian is in an area, possibly, or some child is, where this is going on. Okay. And it's scary. It is very scary. And I'm hoping Sumner County, with the introduction of a new district attorney, he will realize that he needs to jump on this high-profile case immediately. And if he wants to stay in, he should do what is expected of him, if that makes any sense. Meaning, come in there, make an impression, definitely do something for Sebastian, and make a career for yourself. Not a career criminal, but a career of doing something better than what they're already doing. His name is Thomas Dean, and I looked up his application. I'm going to share it with you. He was not in the military. The only thing that set me back a little bit is he has lived in Hendersonville for like 35 years, which worries me that he's one of the good old boys. Okay. But we're going to give him the benefit of the doubt and hope he comes in strong for Sebastian and takes down everyone who is not, because that's what people are looking for now. Let's read this from Whitley. I'm not going to read Nick Maris's statement to Whitley. Ridiculous. No offense. It is the end of an incredible chapter. Yeah, I bet. 40 years of no term limits and doing whatever you want. It's the end of an incredible chapter, one dedicated to the pursuit of justice and the safety of Sumner County. If you agree, clap. If you don't, say boo in the chat. It's the end of an incredible chapter, one dedicated to the pursuit of justice and the safety of Sumner County. I'm honored to be recognized as Tennessee's longest serving district attorney general. And you may be long serving and you may have done a lot of good, but since I've been looking in a year and a half, you've done nothing for Sebastian except for go after YouTubers who are looking for him. Throughout my career, I've had the privilege to prosecute thousands of violent offenders, except those who violently offended Sebastian Rogers, stand up for victims' rights, except for the rights of the victim, Sebastian Rogers, and work on innovative programs to address substance abuse and improve public safety, except when it comes to the safety of the people when they're curious about what happened to Sebastian and are their kids safe. Then their mum's the word. As I step away from public service, I do so with deep gratitude to the assistant DAs, support staff, advocates, and officers who have walked this road with me. Thank you. Our shared commitment to justice has made a real difference in this state. Oh, you bet it has. And I am profoundly proud of all that we have accomplished together. I wonder why you're leaving so suddenly, sir. That's interesting, isn't it? Right in the middle of a high-profile case. Well, let me tell you one little trick politicians do, my friends. You know I used to work on Capitol Hill. Boo, boo, boo is right. I agree. What they do is when their seat comes up or they're going, okay, if he had decided to wait, because this is an election year, and he had filed in December his intent to retire as others were filing their intent to run, that seat would have become open if he had waited to retire till someone new was elected. Okay. And the reason they don't do that, and I'm not speaking for Ray Whitley, I'm speaking for how they do this. I was raised in politics. I know how they do this. Is if he had waited, it would have been an open seat for everyone to vote on a fair ground. Okay. What he has done is he has retired prior to that. So they have to appoint a replacement before the election. You better believe that replacement has been handpicked to continue with the pocket game that's going on. Okay. If they wanted to be fair to the people in Sumner County, after 40 years of being allowed to serve there, he could have honored Sumner County, stayed in office until and allowed them to run an election of whom they wanted to run. But instead, he went over Sumner County citizens' heads and retired early. So they appoint someone. And then a lot of times that appointee is who is voted in because they are there. Okay. So it's a dirty game that they play. So now we have his honor of a lifetime was to being serving as their district attorney. But when he first stepped into the role, he could never have imagined the journey ahead, the challenges, the triumphs, the heartaches, the hopes. I could not have made it this far for this long without the unwavering dedication of our law enforcement professionals. Oh, yeah, I'm sure. You all are real dedicated to certain things. Things rhyme with rings, don't they? The courage of victims and their families, the support of this community, and the love of my family. It's been an honor to serve as your district attorney general. All the best, my friend. Please. Okay. As much as I want to support that, I just cannot right now. I'm sorry. It's a dirty game they play there. So last night, I don't know, remember when. Last night, the governor appointed the new DA. See how they got him appointed, right? People didn't get to elect, just like they voted against people speaking at their commissioner meetings because they don't care about the people's voice there. They voted against term limits, which is what breeds corruption if you don't have them, because they sit in their chair doing whatever they want for as long as they want. Okay. It breeds corruption. So the governor made the choice, not the people, and it is Thomas B. Dean. He was an assistant DA. Okay. I want to give you information on him. Sorry. He was an assistant DA. Let's make sure you're reading this with me. Okay. Assistant DA for Sumner County. He was a practiced lawyer in 1988 and passed the bar for Tennessee. All the states in which he has been licensed to practice law, only Tennessee, which always actually concerns me at this point because Tennessee it's like living in the Wild West. Have you ever been denied admission to suspended or placed on inactive status by the bar? No. List your professional or business employment experience since the completion of your legal education. Also include here a description of any occupation, business, or profession other than practice of law. He does something with the housing, by the way. So, of course, employment after law school. He was an associate for King and Ballow. He was assistant attorney general for the state of Tennessee. We need to look up his track record right there. Assistant Attorney General for the state of Tennessee, 1991 to 1995. He is not a young guy. We need to look up how he voted, what he did when he was the Assistant Attorney General. I missed that last night. It was like 3 a.m. when I was reading this. From 91 to 95. He was the Assistant District Attorney General for Sumner County District Attorney's Office. 1995 to present. An associate professor. Occasionally during my early days as an ADA, I worked as a part-time associate professor. I taught several different courses in paralegal programs and volunteered at the State Community College. I enjoy the experience of teaching, but it was time-consuming. Amen. Yes, it is. And I stopped this endeavor more than 20 years ago. And then he talks about what he did prior to having his law degree, and he was a bus boy, a janitor, a grocery store sack boy, cashier, dishwasher. Okay. His practice has been almost exclusively criminal. And this is important. Although I do handle an occasional seizure proceeding, which is governed by civil law and procedure. So he's versed on criminal procedure. So I have high expectations of what he needs to do. I have been the lead white-collar crime prosecutor, oh Lord, in Sumner County for more than 20 years. Stop right there. I'm going to look this up for you. That, in my opinion, is a concern. Because white-collar crime, they're committed by professionals. It involves deceit, concealment, breach of trust, financial gain, rather than physical force. It's everything we're talking about. Common examples include securities fraud, healthcare fraud, mortgage fraud, embezzlement, money laundering, inside trading, bribery, and tax evasion. These crimes can harm individuals and counties and are often complex to investigate and prosecute. So, my friends, he is the one who has been prosecuting the money laundering, all of that going on in Sumner County. Housing, absolutely. So tell me, why is it still going on? I want to know. Very interesting. Theft, fraud, that's 90% of his practice. He sometimes prosecutes other criminals, such as drug and violent offenders, but his is the fraud. So I'm really interested into why more people were not charged in this crime ring, trafficking ring, drug ring, everything they got going on. And he has been doing this since 1995. Over the past 29 years as a prosecutor, I've primarily appeared in Sumner County Criminal Court, Circuit Court. and our 2 general sessions courts. But I have appeared in every court in Sumner County at one time or another, except for juvenile court. Wow. Okay, let's keep going. He was not in the Army. He's lived in Tennessee for 56 years. 35 of those are in Sumner County, where he also grew up and lived for 16 years prior to leaving for college. He's registered to vote in Sumner. He never was in the military. He's never been convicted of a crime or a criminal statute. He's never had a tax lien or filed bankruptcy. I'm actually really concerned now that I see that, you all, that he is the one who should have been prosecuting all this crime. Oh, Town Check, good night. Good to see you. So that's concerning to me. This individual is the one since 1995 who should have been taking care of these dirty money laundering, dishonest, thieving rings going on in Sumner County. And just like I said, they've now moved him up to DA. So the perfect choice, right? Appointed. Doesn't even need to be elected, because the voice of the people in Sumner County is constantly silenced. Whether you're at commission meetings and want to speak, whether you try and walk into Sumner County Sheriff's Office and they walk up and give you a hard time about what you're doing there. Money laundering, housing industry, fraud, you name it. This is the man who would have been prosecuting this. Are there any Department of Child Family cases on the FOOTS based from Sumner? Not that I know of, but, PFOOTS, yes. CP. Selected, not elected, and that's exactly how they like it. Because if the people elect someone who's not going to look the other way, they're all going to lose their big houses and their big games, in my opinion. Okay? And it is a travesty, because when it all boils down to this, let me show you what it all boils down to. It all boils down to this young man. This young man who ate dinner at the Texas Roadhouse and was very uneasy. This young man who ate dinner at the Texas Roadhouse and didn't realize he'd never see his father again. This young man who ate dinner at the Texas Roadhouse while mom secretly snapped photos of him. This young man who ate dinner at the Texas Roadhouse like he hadn't been fed in a while. Laura, they don't know where he is. They're hoping this is him. Do I know where he is? I'm not answering any of that, but they're hoping this is him overseas. If they have released him before they got there to do an identity, they are going to release the footage to us to help and to see, what's going on. They're out of sponsor slots. Thank you, Jen. I think you're right. I think the vendor's closed. Because Whispering said, thank you for your donation, Whispering. Maybe we can all join to get enough money to be a sponsor. That would have been a great idea. And I would have been in on that too. I would have definitely. How's Chicken Lady doing, Raymond? So this young man who, while he ate at the Texas Roadhouse, didn't realize there were people lurking around his car when he came out. Didn't realize his 16th birthday would not be spent with family members. Had no idea he'd become one of the FBI's most wanted. But what I will tell you is someone knew he would. Someone knew he was going to go missing. Someone knew because it was planned. And I don't want you to forget the very important, hold on, I'm going home here. I don't want you to forget the very important information about the fact that Of course, I forgot. Let me share this with you. I'm sorry. That someone was staring at him while he ate. I also want to share with you that someone was sitting out in the parking lot while he ate, which is very unusual in a vehicle, never coming in. Okay. Compare the face you show to the ones I send to you. Thank you, Jay. I will. We were actually working on that this morning a little bit. Okay. Kathy DIRTYSOX works for her brother's son. Yes. Okay. So this wasn't just a meal. This was far more than a meal. This was hidden photos. This is, in my opinion, headsets being worn, people speaking, people following, people staring. This person who's watching Sebastian in a very intimidating way, in my opinion. Okay. In a very intimidating way. Does he look friendly to you? Does he look like he's being friendly to you? Show Poodles, thank you so much for gifting 5 memberships. We have our family reunion tomorrow. Join us. We have a good time. Thank you so much for your generosity, and welcome in, and please thank Show Poodles. Thank you so much. I do. It is crimetimebuzz@gmail.com. Okay. So Robin, I don't know why we're just seeing this. I just saw it for the first time a couple weeks ago. I remember Jen Coffindaffer saying months and months ago, she found it weird people were staring at Sebastian while he ate. Well, here you go. Yeah, I'm sure there's more cameras. I'd love to see the camera that's shooting towards KP. But there we go. He's staring right at him. So now, what kind of investigators didn't notice this? What kind of investigators didn't notice that the green hoodie was walking up towards the handicap area where you could walk, veered away and walked right between the 2 cars and stayed there till KP came out? What kind of investigators didn't notice this guy? What kind of investigator didn't notice green hoodie going back into the restaurant after KP and Sebastian left, walking through, going to the bathroom, and not buying anything? What was his purpose, her purpose there? It isn't CP. It looks like him. I'm telling you, Rachel, when I first saw it, I was like, that's CP sitting right there. But it's not. He's got red hair and a ponytail. I had to blow it up to make sure. That's not a booth. That is a half wall behind him that this person is standing at. Yes, the kind that are involved. So he looks familiar to me. And I said that too, Whispering. I said that too. I said the first time I laid eyes on it, I said that. He looks familiar, but I can't place him. But that was going on, and investigators, there was no plea to the public, who is this man? There was no plea to the public, who's green hoodie, by law enforcement. There was no vehicle description on the Amber Alert. And now you're telling me TBI has down for 2024, 9 kidnappings, 9 solved? Well, what about the 2024 Amber Alert they put out for the kidnapped child in Hendersonville? So lots of stuff going on fishy. Now, here's Sebastian's mother, for those of you who don't know who she is, because you don't see her, you don't hear from her, and no, she's not deceased. I do have people who are new to the case who email me and ask me if Sebastian has a mother, if his mother's dead. His mother is very much alive and living her best life at Disney World, the Pigfest, having lunch with people in the community who are in charge of the community. She's not even afraid or hiding. That isn't Chris, Rose. That is not Chris. We can't prove Chris was not there that night. We can't prove he was there yet. I think I see him, but this is not him. So who is this staring? And is this why she kept looking behind her? Remember, She kept looking behind her. And I would love to see the footage if he left before her. Shopping for Harleys. Yep. Best life. I know there's a sister, his eyes, but I don't recall if there's a brother. So hopefully we have a new DA who is coming in and actually going to take care of some of these white collar crimes that are all over his community, apparently. And this woman who doesn't want the flyers passed out, we need to get someone to take us, hear us, and bring her in. Now, we have a sheriff who has turned down, apparently, help from the marshals, I'm hearing. He's now not, it's not only that he's not asking, is what I'm hearing now, it's that he actually turned it down when they offered. So what that tells us is he knows they're actual law enforcement. He knows they can find a child. He knows they'll figure out what's going on. And he knows they'll basically look at him and want to spit in his face when they see the lack of investigation. All in my opinion, all theory, all speculation. But if I lived in that county, that man would not be in office much longer. Because what are you guys going to do when it's your kid and he's sitting up in that office and you're on the corner with a microphone? What are you guys going to do when it's your kid and you want to pass out flyers, but they don't allow it? And they want permission from people in the housing industry. Boy, does that make you scratch your head a little bit? Does that look like the face by the red sports car seen that night in question? Yes, Jilly. I'm just going to tell you, yes, it does. One of my researchers does think that it could be the person standing near the red car. By the way, the red back end is not the Camaro. It is a red Dodge Charger. Someone who lives in the neighborhood owns a red Dodge Charger. Say in their update, all cars have been accounted for and belong in the neighborhood. Indeed. You want me to tell you who owns the red Dodge Charger? How about I say it this way? The same person who chose not, the only neighbor who chose not to tell the neighborhood group that his footage was turned in. Everyone else did. The same neighbor who said he did, well, I don't have anything on it. The same neighbor who has 7 cameras, night vision, and audio, and I saw what his camera can do prior to the disappearance. It's like in broad daylight, something he had posted on social media. It's the same neighbor who lives right behind him. It's the same neighbor who was riding around with cops first morning when they were collecting footage, which he didn't give. It's the same neighbor who was at the command center watching the sedan pull up and the flashlights in the backyard in the other car. It's the same neighbor who also has a family member who owns and parks a Nissan in his driveway. Ford or gray, dark. Okay. I'm not accusing, I'm just saying they have that kind of car. It's the same neighbor who, when he was at the vigil the Tuesday night in the neighborhood, when he was asked how things were going, started tears up in his eyes and said, it's bad, it's so, so bad. Now, what would make a police cop cry? Oh, he had footage to give. Because he has audio, we remember. That's where that audio, I believe, came from. Okay? So why was a part-time motorcycle cop in the vehicle first thing that morning with Sumner County? Why did he throw a temper tantrum when private security came in to protect the neighbors who were scared, beating on car windows, filming them, telling them to get the hell out of there? That's right. Why would he not want people protected in that neighborhood? He acted just like a PUNK, like a Proudfoot PUNK, in my opinion. Okay? So I'm not saying they are his cars, but I'm saying I think it's a huge coincidence when he lives on Kellen Lane, and on Kellen Lane, we've got 2 cars at 3 a.m. and both those cars sit in his driveway. Bing, bang, boom. Okay? So, why is it when he would throw a fit like that in the neighborhood, did law enforcement not come and talk to him and arrest him or do something? Oh, no. Oh, no. They weren't mad at him. You know that. They were mad at the people who were upset with him, I'm sure, because that's how it rolls. Just like when the neighbors call for a car because Katie's beating on doors with SF looking for footage months later, because now they got to get serious because Dog and At Night are involved. So people care. When it was just Sumner County, she didn't care what anyone had. To where one neighbor had to go to a hotel, another one called and was told that unless they're on, call them back if they come on their property. That's the kind of protection they're getting. And I ended one of my videos a while ago and I said, would you like to know what happened at the Motel 6 when someone was up there and saw the red Camaro? I will tell you what happened. They had a little scuffle with the red Camaro owner. Okay. They were out at the hotel, which please guys don't do this. Okay. Because I'm going to tell you why I don't want you to do this. They'll arrest you for stalking before they'll arrest the dirties. Okay. Someone was there watching red Camaro. Okay. Instead, and red Camaro caught on to them, and guess what he did? Followed him out of the motel. She went back and got her partner, friend, I'm not sure which. They went back to the Motel 6. The partner friend took a picture of the Camaro's license plate and they called the police. The reason they called the police is as they took a picture, the red Camaro owner came out. They started, words going on. Okay. Words were going on. And so the lady called the Goodlettsville police. Okay, the Goodlettsville police, because that's where the Motel 6 is. Lo and behold, a white undercover car comes up, pulls up, and she's talking to them. He's got bald head and a red beard. And he's talking to her, and they're going over what's going on. And she's told to get in the truck she's in the truck actually when they're having this little scuttle. And there's all this going on. And she's saying, this guy, here's his name. Remember, because we know his name because he emailed me. PIs, investigators, everyone checked after that sighting, which wasn't Sebastian at the Motel 6, but this is still the Motel 6 stuff. Okay. Thank you, Robin. And he, so this is going on. And suddenly a unmarked red van pulls up right there. And the lady says to the other cop, well, who's that? And he says, the lead investigator from Sumner County. And she was so confused because she called Goodlettsville police on this guy, and up shows Brandon Carter. So what happens? Was I there? No. This was relayed to me. What happens is Carter gets out of the car. She tells Carter, this man's name is this, and she was right on the name. I'm not going to say it out loud. He has emailed me. I've had locals email me about him. I've had other people verify he is indeed the name I know. Okay. So she says, this guy, this is his name. And he could have something to do with Sebastian, apparently, something like that. Okay. And remember, she's told it's the lead investigator. And she's baffled why Sumner County showed up. Okay. So as soon as Sumner County shows up, the owner of the red Camaro comfortably he stops all of this interaction. And what does he decide? He just goes in his room. Okay. She's telling him who this guy is. in her opinion, could be. And that his vehicle was there the night of the sighting, blah, blah, blah. Brandon Carter tells her, and I kid you not, I've reported this. Brandon Carter tells her, well, I just ran those plates and that is not the name that came up. So you've got the wrong name and the wrong guy. Just get out of here and go mind your own business. I am not kidding you. She felt so unprotected. She will never go near the motel again. But he told her to get out of there and mind her own business. And fibbed to her about whose plates those were. And I even verified with an investigator that they have run those plates. They know who he is. And it is indeed the name that I was given because the idiot emailed me from his regular email. Okay. Brandon Carter is not TBI. Brandon Carter is Sumner County. He is the lead agent for the case. Bobby Simmons is TBI. Okay. Michelle, I'm just making sure you know. Brandon Carter is the lead detective for Sumner County. And Seth Rogers said they don't even know if he's covering the case anymore because he doesn't respond to his emails or anything. And Bobby Simmons is the TBI agent. Okay. TBI is the one who raided the Millersville PD and Sean Taylor from Millersville PD's home because he had been collecting information on the corruption and child trafficking and drug rings that were going on in Sumner County and being funded and laundered through the housing industry and overseas agencies. And his family, while they were in the home, the windows were shot at. And while he was in his vehicle, someone who he had brought up as being involved in the corruption hit him head on in his car. That's how they work there. Okay. So what is SWDR? I'm missing that. SWDR, what is that? So he protected the red Camaro, told the person that's not his name. It is his name. And he lied. So when Seth says that they're lying to him, I believe Seth. And I'm going to reach out to that person who told me this story. And one of you in Tennessee, I want you to ask for a call for service for that date. And we're going to make sure they filed that report. And if they didn't file that report, we'll do something about it. Jen and Don, good to see you. Good to see you. So you all, I wanted to thank you for being here. Lots of things going on. Someone staring at Sebastian while he eats is indeed probably, in my opinion, Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers, thank you. So probably, in my opinion, why KP keeps looking behind her, he was supposed to be in place, in my opinion. He is not seated at a booth. He is standing at a half wall behind them. I verified with a local based on the layout of the restaurant. She was very helpful. Okay. I also have some video on Green Hoodie, which we've all watched, but for some reason you can see Green Hoodie a little bit more. So I'll bring that out next. I got to pull that out and find it. So we're going to be getting into a lot of that coming up soon. And hi, Mrs. Nobody. And I just wanted to thank you all for keeping it's out of hand, Holly. It's so bad. It's so gross. And if we send everything to every sheriff in every state, hey, Peter Pan, good to see you. If we send everything we know to every sheriff in every state we represent and to the Sheriff's Association, all of us sending it to the Sheriff's Association, someone is going to care. There's a sheriff not caring about a child. Some sheriff took an oath is going to care. If any of you live in Grady Judd's jurisdiction, please let him know. I am going to be letting Arizona former Sheriff Joe Arpaio know, because he doesn't put up with stuff like this either. Gypsy said something. Jay, I apologize, but I'm commenting when I can. How many houses does the new DA own in Sumner County? That is a great question. And here's what I'm going to say to you. Look it up now and take a screenshot of it, because they change. I have screenshots. I'm pretty sure I screenshotted them of EC and his wife owning properties. Then the next time they were just in the wife's name. Then the next time there was just one property. Okay. So properties are changing. I did hear the comptroller who controls that is also on the, what do you want to say? On the payroll? Is that how we're going to call it? I have heard that, and that person does control the page where you see who owns what. And things have been a-changing. And I'm not the only one who've noticed it. Many of you have noticed it because you've reached out to me. So my email for anyone who wants it is crimetimebuzz, the name of the channel, @gmail.com. Okay. I am a few weeks behind. I started responding last night a little bit, so give me a little time to catch up. I want to thank you all. Hold on, there's a comment here from Christina Phillips. I pray all the real videos of the restaurant and the house that I believe were edited to protect the true members, which many believe the blood of the little bed sheets and the white van. Which many believe the blood of the little bed sheets and the white van. Are you talking about the mattress sheet that was found at Orsham's area? Yes, it is. It is apparently the person who found it. It's urine and, in their opinion, urine and blood. Okay, and it did disappear. It's gone now, and also they were followed. Just so you know. Is that what you mean, the white van or her white van? Okay. I still think the Brinks van has something to do with it because of the way CP cut Nancy Grace off and said, we can't give you any information about that. I do think, Sadie, thank you for being here from the UK. I do think the Brinks van has something to do with it because of his reaction. Obviously, when he was in town had something to do with it. The Joker thought the alibi started at 5:15 in the morning, and it doesn't. It starts about 5:15 the night before. I want to see his documentation. Okay. There's a lot of documentation we can bring forth if we need to. And although every time you've emailed a tip and they have not responded to you, keep it. We're going to use it all. You're still stuck on the audio, Holly. I need to pull the audio back up. I have my shortened version. I find my long version. If any of you have the long version available, can you send it to me? Because I do want to go back over that. Thank you all for being here. I am going to try and get a video out a little bit later. So hit that notification bell. I really want to keep this going. I'm sorry, the kids are running. Hit that notification bell because we never know what's going to happen next in this case, what they will do or what they won't do, or if we get an update from the biometrics and the facial identity. You are not the only person, Royal Blue, who's saying that. Okay. If there's anyone who believes they've captured on motorcycles CP at the Texas Roadhouse, please send it to me. Thank you, Royal Blue. Royal Blue, email me at crimetimebuzz@gmail.com and let me know what you're talking about right there. I do pay attention to the things you all say, and I want to clear up. Sometimes you guys send me something and it takes like a month or so before it clicks with another piece. So I don't want you to think I ignore or I'm not doing with what you send me. But like yesterday, I was sent something and it clicked with another piece that I needed, which clicked with another piece they needed. So sometimes don't think I'm ignoring you or not using it. Sometimes I just need that right time for it to make sense somewhere. But thank you, mods. You're amazing. Chat, you're always lovely. I enjoy spending my time with all of you. Hi, Barb. So good to see you. And thank you for watching the replay. Hendersonville taxpayers, yes, your vote should count. Your voice should count. Okay? Let's make it count. Thank you for being here. Hit that notification bell for next time. Like, share, subscribe if you would. And keeping on, keep the faith, because we are going to bring him home. Bless you all. Talk soon. And thank you for all your donations, your memberships. Oh, Frank, I enjoyed my apple. Thank you so much. It was waiting on my desk when I got here. Thank you so much. But I do want to thank you all for your vigilance, the research you do, the studying of photos, the emailing of officials. Email every one of your sheriffs so they can look, because many of them are so honest, and that they are there for the right reasons. And we have to remember that they don't want dirty on their reputation of their career. So they will help go after dirty. Okay. Thank you all so much. Keep keeping on, and we will talk soon. Blessings.